Forgiveness the hardest freedom. Window with faint rain sounds. There are wounds that don't bleed. They whisper. They whisper at night, in the quiet moments between sleep and regret. This story is about one of those wounds. It's about a man who lost everything. And in trying to rebuild himself, he discovered that forgiveness was the hardest kind of freedom. Empty streets glistening after rain. He used to believe that friendship was forever. They started a business together, two dreamers against the world. They laughed about the future, made promises over cheap beer, and swore they'd never let money come between them. But one morning, his partner disappeared, and so did every cent they had built. At first, he thought it was a misunderstanding. A mistake. People don't just vanish with your life's work, right? But days became weeks, and truth became undeniable. The person he trusted most was gone. He sat on the floor that night, hands shaking, staring at the invoices, the empty accounts. His phone lay face down. He couldn't bear to look at the unanswered messages. He laughed once, a hollow, broken sound. And then nothing. Anger is loud at first. But when it stays long enough, it becomes quiet, like snow covering ruins. The world keeps moving. People told him to move on. They said, time heals everything. But time didn't heal. It only layered dust over the pain. He worked small jobs. He stopped meeting people. He told himself he didn't care anymore. But sometimes, in the dark, he'd imagine confronting his friend, screaming, asking why. And in that imagined moment, he always froze. Because deep down, he knew no answer would be enough. Years later, a cafe. The man, older now. His hair was grayer, his voice slower. He spoke politely, smiled mechanically. He'd learned how to look fine. But inside, he carried that wound like a locked box. Every friendship felt temporary. Every smile, a risk. Forgiveness wasn't even a word he considered. It sounded naive, weak. One winter morning, mailbox. A letter. He didn't expect it. It had been 7 years. The envelope was small, creased like it had been carried for days. No return address. He turned it over 3 times before opening it. Inside, a single handwritten note. I don't expect you to forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me either. But I needed to say I'm sorry. Not for me, but for you. Because I know I left you with something heavier than money. The letter shakes in his hands. He read it once, then again, and again. The words didn't change, but something in him did. He felt anger rise like a storm. Then confusion. Then a strange kind of sadness. He whispered, "Why now?" But the room didn't answer. He walks outside. Cold air, faint snow. He wandered through the streets until night. Memories came like waves, laughing together, planning, trusting. He realized the memories themselves weren't the enemy. It was how he held them, with clenched fists. For the first time, he wondered what it would mean to open his hand, not for the other man, but for himself. Days later, he visits the old office building. The space was rented by someone else now. The paint was new, but he could still smell the past. The cheap coffee, the late nights. The version of himself who believed in people. He smiled, not out of joy, but recognition. He was still here. Forgiveness isn't a light switch. It doesn't happen once and stay forever. It's a decision you have to keep making. Every day you remember the hurt. He started small, throwing away old receipts, deleting old emails, allowing silence to exist without bitterness. A park. Sunset. He sits quietly. He thought about the letter again. About the boy his friend used to be. About himself, before the pain. He whispered, "I don't forgive you, but I understand you," and somehow, that felt like the first breath of forgiveness. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means remembering without poison. It doesn't mean trust returns. It means you stop letting anger define you. He didn't tell anyone about the letter. He didn't need to. The world didn't change. But his heart became a little lighter. Years later, he found that same letter, folded at the bottom of an old drawer. He smiled. It no longer hurt to hold it. He whispered, "I think I forgive you." Then after a pause, "But maybe, more than anyone, I forgive myself for holding on so long." Forgiveness is not for the ones who wronged us. It's for the ones we used to be. The ones trapped in yesterday's pain. Sometimes, letting go isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Because the hardest freedom is forgiving what you never thought you could. If someone hurt you, and you could say just one thing to them now, what would it be? Write it down, even if you never send it. That's where forgiveness begins. This was Forgiveness, the Hardest Freedom. Thank you for listening. And remember, sometimes the person who needs forgiveness most is you.